Hey everybody!
Hey!
Welcome back to Fandom News. We hope you're having a great day or night or morning, whatever time it is you're part of the world. We hope you're having a good one. We have a couple things to talk about. It's been kind of slow because everyone's kind of just taking in the aftershock of the premiere, so there hasn't been a whole lot of promo stuff to really talk about other than what we saw at the premiere, and there's been a lot of new theories that have come up. I've talked with a few different people with a couple of different theories on what happened, and I think the consensus is it can only get better from what we saw.
I think last week was virtually perfect.
We can go into those theories a little bit. We can go into a couple of those theories, but the biggest news, obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, you know Gillian Anderson got her star on the Walk of Fame. Yay!
Way to go.
Congratulations, Gillian.
Brian Fuller posted a picture of the star from Queen and said, I wonder if this is Gillian.
That's what it was. Joel McHale was there.
That's right, very tall man.
Yes, and also Annabeth Gish was there. You guys are finally woke to how awesome Joel McHale is, and I'm glad you guys got there. It only took you like 2 years. So David wasn't able to attend, but he did send a really sweet message. Congratulations, I think Mitch did. But we do have a new promo. So the next episode is called This, and it is a Glen Morgan episode. Dean Haglund asked newly released sneak peek at this week's X-Files. It's a fair question given that his character Langley, one of third conspiracy chappy trio lone gunman, is supposed to be dead.
So my theory is he pulled like a lawnmower man, he uploaded his consciousness to the net, and somehow he's alive and well.
That's what I think. I think it's something like that.
Langley, you and I buried him in Arlington along with Byers and Frohicke.
You didn't answer my question.
I honestly believe that Langley is, like I said, inside the computer somehow. He uploaded his consciousness. Somehow he's in there. It's kind of like a Tron thing.
Several scientists have thought that maybe we could do this. We can how to live forever as you upload your brain to a computer.
Well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just had a whole season of that last year where there was this mainframe, and then you could download.
It's your consciousness that lives forever. Your soul is dead, but your consciousness.
It's a tough call. Your body will eventually die, but your consciousness is uploaded, and then potentially your consciousness could be downloaded into another body.
It creeps me out, to be honest.
Just a bit.
We don't know if that's what's happening or not.
We don't know.
So, one thing that's got everyone very, very excited, like overly excited, and not in like a non-sexual way, sexually excited, is this picture right here. I'm gonna pull it up so that you can see it too, Walt. I keep seeing people tweet this over and over again. It is a description, I assume, on a DVR of what's gonna happen, a synopsis of what's gonna happen in +1.
A spate of deaths.
This picture that somebody took, and I apologize to whoever the source is for this because I cannot find it because it's been retweeted, and not retweeted, but like re-uploaded to several different accounts. So whoever you are, I'd like to thank you, and I apologize for posting this without citing the source. It's the description for +1, and everything looks normal. It's going to air on the 17th, which is the 3rd episode. It is also the Doppelganger episode, which is the Chris Carter episode.
And there's no Kathy Griffin in this one,
There's no Kathy Griffin in this one, thankfully. It says everything's fine, but then it says, if you look toward the bottom, right here it says sexual situations. Someone here, Nanda Scully, tweeted, Mulder and Scully will hold hands for 10 seconds. Sexual situations in the X-Files. That is a very good possibility. Or Mulder and Scully will just fall asleep on the couch, and that is a sexual situation.
It won't be them.
Anyways, everyone's freaking out about it, and I just say, calm your pants! We had sexual situations in season 10, episode 3. And you know what it was? Scully making out with a lizard man. That was sexual situations.
Oh, that was hot.
We had Diana Fowley like unhandcuffing Mulder. That was sexual situations. We had Marita Covarrubias and Alex Krycek hook up. That was sexual situations. Even Skinner had a sex type scene. And you know what? Mulder and Scully, no. All they get is forehead sex and forehead sweat.
They all hang out in bubble baths by themselves.
Yeah, really. I mean, even that is more sexual. So I'm just telling you guys, lower your expectations. There was also a promo that went out last week, right before the episode, I believe, or right after. But it has a picture of Scully in bed. And she doesn't have any clothes on. Yeah. We don't know what she was wearing, but the blankets are falling off her and she has bare shoulders. Also, what we need to talk about are a few new fan theories for what we saw in My Struggle 3. Now, some of the fans have gone and read some of the statements and comments that Chris Carter has made in regards to William's fraternity and having Smoking Man be William's father all along.
There was a book published in 2008 where a reporter interviewed a whole bunch of writers from the X-Files and got the lowdown on a whole bunch of stories behind the scenes. Frank Sputnitz at that point said, of course, Mulder is the father of William.
Pull it up for you guys. There's a book called The Writing The XFiles, interview with Chris Carter, Frank Sputnitz, Vince Gilligan, John Chabon, and Howard Gordon. Many X-Files, they're very, very good about this stuff. They keep tabs, as Chris Carter nitpick, on the storyline, and they keep tabs on the history and the continuity of the show. So what they did was several people went out and they found this book and they found excerpts from this book and they dug it up.
So the question was, did you decide at the moment the writers impregnated Scully that it was going to be Mulder's child, or was that decided later on? Frank Sputnitz says, no, we knew it was going to be Mulder's kid. We planted a moment, excuse the wording, in the episode that Gillian Anderson wrote and directed, All Things, which people could look back on and realize that was the night they conceived. We planned for it, anticipated it. We also intended to withhold telling the audience whether it was Mulder's baby for as long as possible. When we finally did tell the audience it was Mulder's baby, even that was worded so ambiguously that a lot of people weren't sure. I still get asked, is it Mulder's baby? Yes, it is Mulder's baby.
Frank Sputnitz confirmed it was Mulder's baby, and now
I trust Frank.
I trust Frank. Frank, where are you? Frank, come back. Come back. Clearly, you guys were on different pages here. Literally, this is a different page from a different book, because what Chris Carter was telling people was, oh, we planned all along to have Smoking Man maybe be the father or twist this whole storyline around. We all think he's lying. We all have come to the conclusion, after a week of shock, that Smoking Man is lying. This is all a lie.
I want to lie is Chris Carter saying, I want to lie.
But what also is intriguing is several people are starting to think that maybe My Struggle 3 could possibly be actually Scully's vision, and My Struggle 2 is reality. So there's that theory as well, too. So what's happening in the world really is happening. However, she's also having a vision of what's happening in My Struggle 3. So we don't know what's real and what isn't real. Another theory is with Smoking Man, he did die. We did see him blow up. And in the comic books, which I haven't read, and I'm sorry that I haven't read them, Smoking Man always appears as a clone. So it's very possible that this Smoking Man is not, one, the original Smoking Man.
Oh, interesting.
2 could be a clone. 3 could be a shapeshifter of sorts. So it's, if they're going based on the...
okay.
Yeah, so, because we've seen shapeshifters in this series, so this guy could actually not be the Smoking Man. The Smoking Man that we knew really did die and was really blown up, and this could be possibly a clone. And I know a couple of people have talked about that. I've heard a couple of people thought about that. And this would be a really good explanation to have him there at this point. I don't know what his motivations are, but if he's a clone or if he's an alien clone, I thought the aliens didn't want anything to do with us.
Well, there are many different aliens. Yeah, you know what? There's just so much out there that is unanswered, and we never had a full closure on what happened to the super soldiers. Were they all destroyed by Magnetite?
No, he says they're gonna magnetite.
Magnetite?
He says they're gonna address that.
Chris Carter says?
He says, yeah.
Well, yeah, we could trust that. And I've said this many times in the last year or two, that we're going into possible alternate realities. You know, I think there's an episode coming up that is an alternate,
universe.
Like a multiverse string theory kind of an episode.
Right. And the Chili's fic, that's the real universe.
I basically think we need Frank Sputnitz back. You know, if you saw my video from 2016 where he said Chris Carter should never be left alone with a pen. He needs a babysitter at all times. And it's because he's genius, but he's so smart that I think he doesn't remember what he thought about 5 seconds ago. But, you know, there's just so much coming out. He's so excited and all this stuff that he needs something like Frank Sputnitz, who's a little more grounded, to balance everything out. Like I always compare it to my buddy George Lucas, same thing. George Lucas, genius, responsible for my other love in my life, but left alone. You know, left alone. There's, you know, should never be left alone. Any one person, and this is arts in general, one person writing, directing, producing the same thing always leads to problems at any level.
Yeah.
Theater, TV, film, always a problem.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I think in this situation...
It's always problematic at some point.
let's talk about the drone experience. We didn't talk about that last week because so much was going on. We saw the premiere, but Walt got a drone delivered to him on a bike.
It wasn't really a drone. I was
wasn't
expecting
a
a drone. I was looking up in the sky over on 53rd Street near Times Square, like, where is this thing coming up? And I had my phone, I was like looking up, and all of a sudden this guy in a bike drove up right next to me. I'm here, and well, that's me, yeah, I'm here waiting for a drone from X-Files. Is their name Drone? I know. And, I don't know. It could be from the sky. Oh, there it is.
I'm thinking.
Oh, drones in New York City. Oh, no.
I'm thinking it was Walt. Wait, I'm like, hold on, Walt.
I get that a lot. No, I'm the ball, not the basketball player. So, apparently in New York City, I was wondering, there's no way they allow drones in New York City, but I've got the box. Oh, this is like, hi. Is there a way to do this without damaging? Or maybe this, Oh, I got a t-shirt. It's more my wife's size. It's a medium. Oh, this should be fun. Okay.
So that's what happened.
That's what happened.
That's what happened. And that's the shirt that came in the box.
It's a little bit bigger now because I wore it for a day.
That's all we have today for Fandom News. I don't have a whole lot more to talk about. Thank you guys for watching. Walt may or may not be joining me for my review of this week's episode. Have a great day, night, evening, whatever time it is. Bye-bye.